I'm Art Bergeron, and welcome to this installment of Giving Back, a program that is designed to help you as folks here on Nantucket really get to know the number of local nonprofits that put together really make up what Nantucket is really about. We'd like you to understand what those nonprofits are doing, and also to give you a sense of a face that is the face of that nonprofit. In order to find all of those folks, I was able to convince my friend Sunny Daly from the Community Foundation of Nantucket to come in and co-host this show. So thank you very much, Sunny, for being willing to do this.
Happy to do it.
And whom do we have today?
So today I am joined by Vince. He is on the board at the Warming Place, but I'll let you introduce yourself and the program.
Thank you, and thank you both for having me here today. As Sunny mentioned, my name is Vincent DeBaggis, and I am the president of the board of directors for the Warming Place. The Warming Place is Nantucket's only place where homeless folks can go and have shelter. Our mission is to provide the homeless people on the island with a shelter, a place to be warm, a place to receive a meal, and a place where they can be sheltered for the night. We've been in operation since 2021. We started out with just a day program, and hence the name, the Warming Place. It was a place where in the cold of winter, people on the island that were homeless could go during the day and be warmed up, get a hot meal. In our second year, we expanded that to start to provide some overnight services intermittently because we didn't have a location where we could run it every night. And then in our third year, last year, we were able to run and operate a 7-night-a-week overnight shelter. We operate from November 1st through April 30th in the coldest months of the year. And this year we've continued that operation. We operate out of 2 churches, don't have our own permanent location, though aspirationally that's our vision. We provide almost 2,000 meals during the course of the year to these individuals, 7 nights a week, and we run 2-day programs. We have about 40 different individuals who have come this year to stay at the shelter. So that's an increase from 27 last year. So these would be 40 different people who've used either the day or overnight shelter. In the last 2 weeks, we had our first female guest who stayed overnight. That had not happened previously, and we do have within our location the ability to keep them separated at night as we should. We operate on a budget of about $300,000 a year to run the programs that we run. It's been a joy to do it.
It's incredible. Did you have any sense starting that it would grow into what it is?
I would say not, though intuitively we knew there was a homeless population on the island. Last year we went out and actually took a census. The numbers vary widely from first the numbers vary to a point where some people would say, really, homeless on Nantucket? Yes, there are. By our count, it was over 50, and that was through our own means of going to the places where they are, talking to the hospital, talking to the police department. So we believe there are far more people in a homeless situation on the island that we're currently serving. Our mission has been try to get that word out that we're here, we're in place, we're running an overnight program, and if you need a place to find shelter, this is what we're here for, and it's our mission. And we try to provide that service with care and compassion, and we have a dedicated group of volunteers, over 60 of them.
That's amazing.
That help us run the program, ever increasing. We run training programs for them. We have paid overnight staff that stay in the shelter because we need to do that. And it's a combination of these 2 constituencies who do this with love and care and really try to reach out to these individuals and help them, not just with shelter, but to find them other social services. So we feed them, we give them a place to hang their head, we give them laundry cards, we give them stop and shop cards. This last 2 years, we've been able to provide a facility for them to use showers. One basic need that's not met from somebody who's homeless. So, we're trying to expand the program every year and find more things that we can do for these individuals and expand our group of volunteers.
That's wonderful, because to your point, I think a lot of people say, oh, Nantucket, there's no homeless people on Nantucket, because it doesn't often look the way it does in larger cities.
So inevitably, I talk to my partners because as I come here, and I also go to the island that must not be named, right? And so whenever I'm in either of these islands, they're like, oh, so where are you working today? Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket. But the assumption is that I'm out here just dealing with all these fabulously rich people. I say, you don't get it. The money flies in, the money flies out. I deal with real people here, right? These are the people that kind of really make up the island. And to your point, they just wouldn't be, it would be inconceivable for people to think, oh, there were these kinds of issues that are on Nantucket.
I think there's also a lot of stereotypes around what homelessness can look like. Do you feel like there is a demographic or a type of person, or are you finding a really wide breadth of individuals seeking this sort of support?
We've seen from all different types of situations. So the age range is 18 to 72 of those who have used the shelter. Again, 2 females for the first time in the last couple of weeks. Last year, we had a high school student who became homeless at age 18. His home situation didn't work out, and we were able to shelter him for the rest of the year. In fact, before we opened up this year, the first call we got in October was from the high school asking us when we were going to open up because they knew they had potentially had a need. There are lots of reasons why people become homeless. There are certainly, we know the affordable housing issue on the island. Some of these individuals do work, but they just can't afford to live anywhere. They might live in a car. They might live in a building that's on their construction site where they work, or they just live out in the woods somewhere. There are certainly behavioral issues that cause someone to be homeless. Lots of reasons why. Our job and our mission is to be there for them, try to meet them where they are and understand what we can do to help them.
So first of all, we didn't even ask, I'm not a local. Who are you, right? What is your day job?
Yeah, how did you find yourself in this position?
And how did you come to be so interested in this issue? And then talking about who are the other people who have also stepped up, because obviously this is not nothing. What you've created is over a very short period of time is quite something.
Well, we've gotten to where we are with the help of a lot of individuals, including Sonny, who's been a great resource for us. My own passion about it is before I came to the island as a full-time resident, we've had a summer home here for a long time. We moved here year-round in 2016. I lived in Plymouth, Mass. I worked at a soup kitchen for our church. It's always struck me as something that having a feeling for those who are homeless, who don't have a place to sleep, don't have meals to eat. So coming here...
So you saw those people, because soup kitchen, that's how you learn. Everybody's there. There's a lot.
There, but for the grace of God, go I.
That's right.
So my affiliation with the Warming Place started through the Rotary Club here in Nantucket. The Warming Place was affiliated when it first started with one of the local churches. They needed I'll call it a fiscal sponsor, because at the time they weren't a nonprofit. We were very grassroots. And I was the president of Rotary Club at that time, and they came to us and asked, could we, because we had a nonprofit entity, be their fiscal sponsor? We agreed to do that. And for a period of time, that worked out and helped the Warming Place evolve. So I became the liaison from the Rotary Club to kind of be involved in the organization and frankly make sure that it was consistent with what we expected. Right. And it struck me from the dedication of the individuals I saw that I wanted to be part of that. We evolved then where for a period of time we were affiliated with the Interfaith Council, and they helped us at a period of time where we needed that. And then last year we made the decision to go out on our own, become our own 501c3 with a lot of help from Sonny and guidance. We were able to accomplish that in a period of time that it still amazes me. It took us 8 weeks to get it. We expected it to be 8 months. So yeah, you're right. In a short period of time, we've grown up quite a bit. We were fortunate that we got a grant from 2 organizations that helped us hire a consultant who helped us create a strategic plan and a vision. And now we're in the process of trying to execute on that vision. And clearly our biggest need right now is exactly what this show is about. How can people become more aware of what we're doing and help us financially? That's the only way we'll get to do what we need to do.
And so who are the players who are kind of, who you found either were there when you got there or who have just kind of found their way to this organization?
Well, the person that really is the leader, the person who started it and is the founder is Deb Dubois. Mm-hmm. She has been de facto right now, she runs the operation. And she's been the driving force behind it. We have a very small board that we started, so it's myself, Deb, Sue Mintonen, who is our treasurer, Kathleen Herbert, who is our compliance person, and Zara Kaza, who is our development person. That's the core team of people who meet on a regular basis and try to drive us forward. Now we're in a process, and me as the head of that board, I'm trying to evolve it into where we need to go in the long run, create an advisory committee, start to build out that board structure. Something different for me. I've sat on many boards. I'm the president of another board up in Vermont right now, but it's one that I inherited. Building it from scratch, starting from day one, and then how to build all these adjacent committees that help it function is something I've not done. And I asked Sunny a lot of questions about that. She's been very helpful.
And when you talk about it, and you've had the opportunity to really kind of have someone help you formulate the strategic plan, and you kind of have the sense of where you want to go. So where do you, and once again, when we're talking about legacy giving, for most people, I tell people what you're doing is you're giving somebody the ability to get where they want to go, right? To have something that's so special that it should always be there, and that it should always be there, while at the same time constantly be improving. So, where are you feeling that you want to go?
So our long-term vision is we want to have our own location on the island. We think that's the only way we can, for the long term, continue to serve people. Right now, we're blessed that we have these church organizations that have helped us by letting us use their facilities. That's the Summer Street Church and the First Congregational Church. We'd be nowhere without them, but in the long run, we need to have our own facility. Secondary to that is we want to see more success stories. So we've had a few. We've had 2 individuals this year who were with us last year who were able to find housing. That's what we want to see. We want to be able to provide more social services. Right now, we connect them with Fairwinds and other social service organizations on the island. But to do that effectively, you really need a caseworker. Because we're a growing organization, we're doing a lot of those things ourselves. But in the long run, we need a shelter manager that we can fund, as well as a caseworker that we would bring on who would help them with more than just sheltering them overnight. We want to get them out of the homeless situation if we can. That's our long-term vision.
I mean, obviously that's challenging, right?
There are challenges with all of this, not the least of which is building awareness. So I don't know if you saw this, but a couple of weeks ago, the Knights of Columbus did an awareness night where, and they did it on Ash Wednesday. They wanted to bring awareness to the homeless situation on the island. So a number of them went out and stayed out overnight and became homeless for the night. And there was great coverage of that, and they raised some significant funds to help us. It's organizations like that that want to kind of put some skin in the game to help us to build awareness. We feel like we've come a long way in terms of people know what we're doing now. And we have a ways to go. We've built our own website. We've got our own outreach program. We just ran a very successful campaign this past fall that helped us raise needed funds. We'll be doing a lot more of that in the off season. But that is probably our biggest challenge, is getting people to know what we're doing, why it's important, and most importantly, how they can help us.
So if people were trying to outreach to you because they wanted to volunteer, obviously because they wanted to donate, but if they wanted to volunteer, if they just wanted to find out more about the program, once again, one of the reasons why we're doing this show is that people can say, oh, I didn't know he was doing that, right? So who would they call? How would they find you?
Easiest way would be to go out on our website, thewarmingplace.org. From there, you can make one click and donate. One click and you can volunteer. We have a very nice program that we use that tracks all the volunteers, schedules them. Again, we have over 60 right now, but we need more. The way we run the program is every night from 5:30 to 7:30, there's 2 volunteers there that kind of help with the intake of the guests for the evening until the paid staff come and take over. So that's 7 nights a week, as well as 2 days during the week we have volunteers. So we have a committed team of people that go and schedule them. And I highly encourage it because, and I try to fill in those positions as much as I can, because that's how you get to know the individuals that are there, understand their situation. They're good people who are just not in a position to shelter themselves for various reasons. And seeing that firsthand and putting your hands on it, bringing a meal. We have some volunteers that's all they do. They'll bring a meal for the night. Really makes a difference and helps you see that there is a constituency out there that we need to help.
Right, and that we're all in this together. Sunny, this was just wonderful. We really appreciate your coming on to the show. You've got the contact information. You should be connecting with these folks. This is an integral part of the community. This is an integral part of the community, and a part of the community that you should be involved in. So you've got the contact information. Sunny, thanks again for doing this.
Thank you, Vin.
And thank you very much for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next installment of Giving Back. Thanks.
Thank you.